guys, Kim here, and welcome to another episode of Kim TV. This edition is obviously a tutorial, and we're going to go over one of my favorite social media publishing and monitoring tool, Stacker. So Stacker is pretty brand new when it comes to the realm of social media monitoring and publishing tools. However, I've been able to have a great relationship with the developers of Stacker, and they've actually come out with a really amazing product that I think will definitely be very useful for you. So first of all, I wanted to mention I don't get any kickbacks from making these reviews of any of the tools that I publish, and if I ever do, I will definitely let you know. But I honestly really enjoy using this tool, and I thought it would be helpful for you. So here's what we'll cover. We're going to talk about how Stacker can save you time and energy. We're going to explore some basic functionalities, and then you're going to figure out quite fast why I personally use this tool for social media, and I totally adore it. Okay, so let's get right down to business. Alright guys, so here we are on Stacker's site, and if you want to go ahead and create a free account, I suggest you go over to www.getstacker.com, and you're going to be able to sign up really easily through this URL. So we're going to go into my dashboard, and this is what my dashboard looks like. I'm going to lower this video right here so you're able to see clearly what this dashboard looks like. As you can see, all of these social media accounts have been connected, and this is my outbox, or in other words, where I'm able to see all of the content that I have scheduled. It's basically your publishing platform. So to get started, very first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead and connect your social media accounts. And the way you do that is once you sign up, Stacker is going to prompt you to connect your social media accounts, but since I already connected some of mine, you can always go into the More section and click on Connect Account. And you're going to be able to connect a Twitter profile, Facebook profile, page or group, a LinkedIn profile, page or group, and the Google Plus profiles are coming soon. So this is really exciting. I'm really excited about this particular feature just because I like to use Google Plus, and it's just really easy to schedule my content via Stacker. So just have that, as kind of a coming soon feature, and know that Stacker is also going to be adding a few more social media channels in the future. Hopefully, hint hint. So we'll be able to schedule to even more tools eventually. Alright guys, so back to our outbox section. The way that you're going to be able to sort of manage and control this is quite easy. If you're familiar with Buffer, you're definitely going to be familiar with the layout of Stacker. And I love the fact that you're able to not only schedule content, but also put it on a queue, just like you would Buffer. It's really simple. So let's go ahead and figure that out real quick. Go over to the Compose box. And here's where you're going to see a list of all of your social media networks. You're going to be able to compose a message, and for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just going to go ahead and add that. You can always add an image, and that image is too big, so let's select a different one. Alright, so here we are. Now the beauty of Stacker is that it allows you to do some really cool stuff that a lot of social media publishing tools don't allow for. And as far as I'm concerned, I've never seen some of these features in other tools. And one of them is being able to schedule Facebook albums via Stacker, which is extremely helpful when it comes to really getting a feel for what's going on. So if you have any event, or you're just launching a new product, or perhaps you went to a recent event that you want to show multiple pictures of, you don't have to publish this on the spot via Facebook. You're able to do that via Stacker, which is extremely helpful. So all you're going to want to do is add multiple images. to the Stacker feed, and once that's uploaded, it's going to give you a Facebook album title that you can go ahead and add. And you can easily schedule content manually, set a date and a time, or you can save it as a draft, click on Add Queue, and if you don't want to add it as a specific time, like I do, I already have my preset times via Stacker with the scheduling queue. You can simply X that out and click Add Queue. Of course, make sure that you're selecting the network that you want this to go out on. And here we go. All right, perfect. So I'm going to scroll all the way down to my queue, and here is the message that I just scheduled, which is the Facebook album. I'm going to delete that just so it's not published, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what is possible. Now, Stacker just came out with some really cool content suggestions. If you are a Hootsuite or a Buffer user, you're probably familiar with these, but Stacker takes it to the next level and actually lets you select some really awesome content. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and you're able to customize this for every single social media channel that you have. So basically, you're able to select from social media categories to technology to sports, entertainment, news, and then favorite some of these using this little star so they appear on your favorites. It's very easy to go in and edit these messages and then add them to the queue. So content curation is extremely important when it comes to social media, and it's just simplified within Stacker. Social media managers, you're gonna love this feature. All right, so once I decide that I want to add a particular article to my queue, I can just click on queue, and if I decide that I want to edit one of them before it's published, I can also go ahead and do so. So it's a really easy, really simple way to really manage your content curation from a very simplistic place. You're also going to be able to customize the content suggestions so that you're able to select and follow the blogs that you really enjoy. So for instance, you can add a custom blog feed URL to your Stacker suggestions for a particular channel, and that's really going to be very helpful. So think about having Feedly or a service like or NewsBlur within your social media publishing tool. Extremely innovative. Great. All right, so let's move on to the inbox section. And here's where you're going to be able to receive via a smart inbox all of the messages that come in through the different social media networks that you have attached. So for me, for instance, you're able to see on Facebook, you can view the conversation. You can go ahead and reply inline, which is really helpful as well now that Facebook has that thread feature where you can reply to a particular comment on a post. You're able to do that directly. You can like the comment, you can remove it. You can also attach a photo to your response or your comment, which is another thing I've never seen a different social media platform do. And you can go ahead and archive the message as well, just so you're not seeing it pop up after you've addressed it. Now, I also love this feature for Twitter. It's extremely helpful. You can see the conversation, and here I am having a conversation with Stacker. You're able to retweet, and you're also able to follow or unfollow this particular user. You're also able to go and click on their particular profile on Twitter and see just this particular feed. It's all the history between you and that user. So extremely helpful when it comes to remembering what you talked about previously with a particular Twitter user. A lot of times, we'll talk to someone and then completely forget. The months or weeks go by, and then we kind of forget where we left off or who they really were. This is a great way to look back through that history with that user. And of course, you're going to be able to see basic information on the top right hand side. 185 tweets, the amount of people that are following this particular account, as well as their the people that they follow. You're going to be able to see the timeline in terms of what this user is sharing. In this case, it's Stacker. Their mentions as well. Very interesting. So you're able to see what people are saying about them. Also their favorites. A brief explanation about, their about section, I guess, and then their location, which should be located in their bio. And you're also able to go to their full profile. So it'll redirect you over to Twitter, where you can see even more information. Just very nifty feature for monitoring your social interactions and keeping track of them. Again, extremely helpful for social media managers and small business owners as well. Awesome. So that is, in a gist, the inbox section. You're able to see the active messages as well as the archived ones, which is a great feature to organize your inbox. Of course, I haven't been doing that lately, as you can see, but it'll tell you how old the messages are, and you're able to really interact with your followers from Stacker. Now, the next section that I really enjoy is the draft section. And this is where you're able to use all of those ideas that you might have for future posts and save them. And this is extremely helpful when it comes to really taking charge of your social media and looking ahead when it comes to planning your content. So again, very simple. We're just going to do a test for this one, and all you want to do is save that as a draft. You can go back and make edits to it, send it directly to your queue, post it immediately, or delete it, which is what I'm going to do right now. Alright, so the next feature is reports, and Stacker is going to give you a variety of insights when it comes to your social media accounts. So here you're going to be able to see, start with Facebook, the posts, the clicks, the reach, the visits, the fans, people, and then finally the inbox feature. But I wanted to point out something that's really important here, and that is, if you have a social media post that did really well, don't be afraid to repost it and kind of change it up a little bit. So I'm going to find a particular post that I think was pretty popular, and this might be one of them, just as an example. And know that you're able to view it, so you can kind of decompress it and open that conversation up just so you get all the details. But you're also able to post it again, which is a really helpful sort of little nifty trick. And Stacker is not going to let you post it as it is, so you're going to want to change the text within that particular post. And you can simply add to queue or add a photo to it, or maybe schedule it at a particular custom date and time. So again, another feature that's very, very helpful if you're going through your social media posts and you're seeing that some of them are really performing extremely well. You want to post more of what does good. So I wouldn't say post it the next day or the next week. I would probably schedule that content again in at least 3 to 4 weeks after it's performed well. But you can go ahead and test and see whether or not reposting old content that performed really well, that of course is timely, is helpful for you. You never know. So don't be afraid to switch it up. Definitely get creative with it. Again, just another feature that's really helpful. So again, I'm not going to go in depth through all of these reports, but I just wanted you to have an idea of what you can expect from the report section within Stacker. This is taking a little while to load, but here we go. It's going to give you total clicks and their locations, as well as device insight in terms of what browsers your users are coming from and experiencing your social media accounts, whether or not they're on mobile devices and which types, as well as information on the amount of people that are on each of these. So very helpful, definitely something to figure out. And then the last feature that I kind of wanted to show you within the reports is the amount of incoming messages versus the amount of outgoing messages. Definitely great to measure your engagement. So I would definitely shoot for more incoming messages than you have outgoing. And so this is just going to give you a great way to measure whether or not you're actually getting enough engagement, or you're posting too often, or you're not posting often enough. You can download all of these reports via a PDF. And again, very helpful information. You're going to find a similar report for Twitter, much more condensed, of course, because Facebook does give ridiculous amount of information. But that's pretty much the gist when it comes to figuring out your reports and really getting deep into the analytics and measuring your efforts. Alright, so I did skip over one feature that I want to go back to, and that is figuring out or configuring the schedule for your social media messages. Now, we all know that there's optimal times when you want to be publishing your social media messages, and I hope that you're tracking this information, because it can really make a difference between whether or not, users are actually going to see your post and whether it performs. So you're already putting in all this time and effort into crafting your content. Make sure that you're optimizing it for, maximum performance. So what you want to do is, I like to set my content up in a queue just because it's really easy for me to schedule it. And you're going to want to go into this schedule section. And one of the things that I really love, again, about Stacker is the fact that they let you customize the time zone. A lot of my clients have multiple locations. Some of them are franchises, or they just have multiple store locations. And it's really hard sometimes to kind of manage the time zone difference or the conversion. Very, very common as well with social media managers. Extremely helpful sort of feature where you can set the particular time zone of, that channel, and Stacker is going to figure out the time change for you. So very, very, very convenient. All right, so you're going to want to figure out the times and the days that you want to publish, as well as the amount of times that you want to be publishing on a daily basis. And you're just going to want to set up different times for your posts. You can add a time or remove it. You can have posts go out at the same time throughout the week, or at different times as well. Again, another very convenient feature. Once you have your schedule set up, you want to click Save Schedule, and then once you queue your messages, they're going to automatically be published at those particular times that you've selected. So as you can see, this next post is going to go out at 7 a.m., whereas this one's going to go out at 12, and again another one at 7 p.m. And so this is definitely something that I play with. I test from week to week. I think you should be doing the same thing, or at least figure out, what the best time is to be posting. Facebook gives you this information, and if you don't know what that is for Twitter, definitely hop over to a tool like Twariad and figure that information out. Alright, so I guess the last feature that I wanted to talk to you guys about is collaboration between team members, and this is extremely helpful. Within Stacker, when you sign up for, I believe it's the freelancer price package, you're able to add 2 additional collaborators, and of course that number increases as you upgrade to a higher package. But I love the one that I use is the freelancer one, and I love the fact that I can collaborate with my team. My assistants are definitely very helpful in helping me curate content for my clients, and I love the approval process. So let me give you an idea of what that looks like. So I'm going to go here to the College Moving Company, and all of these posts are approved, but there is one that is awaiting approval. Whenever one of my social media assistants queues a particular message, it's going to show as pending in their draft section. But for me, it's going to show under awaiting approval, and it's going to have this orange highlighter. Now, if I hover on the bottom, I'm able to approve or reject that message. If I approve that message, it's going to automatically be part of the queue or the scheduled time which the assistant scheduled it to. If I choose to reject the message, I'm able to add a comment for my social media assistant. And so if I say, hey, I don't like this photo, or let's change this particular text, or this article is just not timely enough, I'm able to add that as a comment, and Stacker is going to send them immediately an email with the information letting them know that the post has been rejected. And they're also going to get a notification. It's going to be on their drafts section, and they're able to change it and resubmit it, where I can once again approve it. Again, extremely helpful if you have a team that's going to be collaborating with you. Really, really helpful feature. So this is definitely something that I absolutely love. You're able to edit the post or post it immediately or simply delete it, which is really, really helpful. Again, amazing, amazing stuff. All right, last feature. I did miss this one when we were talking about publishing, but this is a game changer for me. When you're in the compose section and you're wanting to share a particular link, let's say from your blog post, or you're just sharing content across the web, sometimes you might have noticed that the Facebook Open Graph is not going to populate. And what that means is just the photo that should be populating with your article might not be. So this is a great example. This photo is, yeah, it's populated, but it's not necessarily what I think is the best sort of representation of this article. You can easily go in and customize this image to whatever you want. So this is just an example, but I'm just going to, pick a random photo, and it's going to upload to Stacker and populate here so that I'm able to publish it to the Facebook page as a custom image. I can go back and see the one that's originally added with the article, and this is just completely amazing. A lot of times you're going to want to share content that is necessarily not optimized for Facebook, and this is really, really helpful. You can do this with your own blog when you want to populate maybe a different photo, or you want to even split test different types of photos on your articles. Really, really helpful. You're able to, again, edit all of the title as well as the description within that Facebook post. Extremely helpful, really good stuff. Have never seen a social media tool do anything like this. So anyway, guys, I think this is pretty much a wrap. I hope you enjoyed this review of Stacker. Go ahead and create an account right now. You can sign up on getstacker.com/early access. Again, that URL is getstacker.com/early access. It's going to be in the description box, just so you guys can reference it. And definitely let me know how you like it in the comment section below, or if you have a different social media publishing tool that you absolutely love and use constantly, share that with me in the comments below. And I will definitely see you on the next episode of Kim TV. It was a pleasure doing this for you. Make sure to subscribe, and thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you next time on Kim TV.